guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here, and today in this video we're going to be taking a look at Kav Sports custom-made 3D printed hockey helmet. Now, if you're a follower of our channel, you've probably seen me post a video about this previously where we had a sit down with the founder and CEO of Kav Sports, Whitman, and we went through a lot of information about the helmet. If you haven't seen that video and you want a lot of detail on this helmet, that will be linked down below in the video description. But this video is more of an overview of how this helmet compares to some of the more traditional helmets that we're used to seeing in hockey, and also sharing a little bit of light into what makes it so special and unique. Now, before I jump into this video, I wanted to mention that there is going to be a giveaway at the end of this video. All of those details can be found in the video description down below, but I'm also going to be explaining how the giveaway works in more detail at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But let's get into it. Now, the world of customizing equipment is not something that's new to hockey. After speaking with an NHL equipment customizer, we know pro players and also recreational players make adjustments and alterations to even their protective, their gloves, their body armor or body protection to make sure that it fits their specific needs or to offer a little bit of additional protection in specific or sensitive areas. So this is something that we're very used to. And over the last few years, we've seen the growth in customization, especially with the skates in hockey, where players are able to have something tailored to themselves and their specific needs and requirements, rather than having to go off the shelf and then adapting a finished product to try and fit your needs as best as it can. Custom is clearly the way forward, and it only makes sense that now customization is available for the most important part of our body, which is our heads. Now, when we look at your traditional helmets in hockey, from a video that I posted previously where we looked at cheap versus expensive helmets, which again will be linked down below in the video description, we found out that the price doesn't really affect the amount of protection that you're getting with a specific helmet, which is crazy to think about. One of the main things that you want to focus on with helmets in general is the fit of the helmet, and from there it's going to be some of the materials and the general construction of the helmet itself. Now, the main thing that's wrong with the helmets that you get from any hockey store or anywhere in the world to play the game is that they have a very limited number of sizes. It's normally maybe 2 to 3 sizes, and what you have to do is find one that fits your head shape and size the best that it can. Although some of us are able to find helmets that work, the vast majority of us don't really have good experiences or pleasant experiences with helmets, but you have to wear one and you just grit your teeth and get on with it. But having a custom-made helmet obviously eliminates the issues with fit and comfort that you'd experience from off-the-shelf helmets that we are traditionally used to seeing and have access to. So this again is an area where Kav Sports custom helmets really shine, because the helmet is not being adapted to fit your head shape. Because of their digital manufacturing process, Kav are able to capture your measurements for your head, your unique measurements, and then build a helmet around those specific needs. So when you get your helmet out of the box, it's not something that has to be adapted to the shape of your head, or you have to get used to wearing it and how it feels. This thing will fit your head perfectly because it's been made for your unique head size. So instead of having to deal with helmets that have a limited number of sizes, Kav Sports are custom. So there is an essentially infinite number of sizes that could be possible, because every helmet that they produce is built around the specific player's requirements and measurements. From there, it's going to be the foams or protective materials inside the helmet. Traditional hockey helmets can have anything from EPP foams or various other materials inside them that are used to try and manage the impacts that you might sustain on the ice while you're playing hockey. Now, although some of these foams do work better than others, as we found out in our cheap versus expensive video, again, linked down below, one of the main issues with the foams that are used in traditional hockey helmets is the fact that they absorb sweat. They're incredibly difficult to keep clean, and they don't really manage sweat or heat very well. Now, when we look at the custom helmet from Kav Sports, they're using advanced carbon polymers. Aside from making the helmet much, and I mean significantly lighter than any other helmet that we've come across, I will touch on this in a little bit more detail later into the video, but it also really helps to manage sweat, because none of that moisture that comes off your body is being retained by the foams inside the helmet. Because their helmet's using these advanced carbon polymers, that is not an issue in their helmets whatsoever. So aside from the helmet being significantly lighter, it also won't absorb any sweat coming off of your body. So you know what it's like after you've had a helmet for a long period of time, and you look inside it and you can see a lot of stains where it's been absorbing sweat over the years or months. This is not an issue in Kav's custom helmets. Now, aside from the benefits of the helmet being much lighter and it using those advanced carbon polymers so it's not absorbing sweat from your body and your head, it's also designed to minimize angular and also linear accelerations of the head. And as a result of all the unique materials that Kav Sports are using in their 3D printed custom hockey helmets, they're also much softer and much more comfortable. Of course, this is a given because it's going to be a custom helmet, but just even taking it out of the box and feeling the way the helmet feels versus your traditional helmets that you get straight out of a box from a hockey store, it just feels softer and nicer to the touch for sure. Now, one of the reasons that Kav Sports helmet is so much lighter, aside from the materials that they're using to actually construct the helmet and also the protective materials that they have inside the helmet, not being your traditional dense foams, it's also going to be the fact that their helmets are one piece, which again is something that you don't typically see in hockey. Kav Sports helmet being this one-piece design means that they're able to add a lot more vents, a lot more ventilation to ensure that while you're on the ice, you are noticeably cooler than you would be in a traditional hockey helmet. This is one of the reasons why Kav Sports helmet was easily, even with a cage on, the lightest helmet I've ever picked up. Now, in terms of the comfort and feel of the helmet when you're actually on the ice, it goes without saying that you definitely notice the weight reduction when you put this helmet on your head. If you're the type of player that plays hockey with a cage, you're going to notice a significant difference in the weight of Kav Sports custom helmets with their own custom cages versus what you typically used to be using. Something that you don't notice immediately when you pick up Kav Sports custom helmet is the fact that this helmet has no metal on it whatsoever. Of course, excluding the cage, I'm talking about the actual construction of the helmet. There's no bolts, there's no screws, there's no hinges, nothing that's made from metal on the helmet whatsoever. Again, you know when you use a helmet for some time, the screws start to rust, they get cross-threaded. It can be a pain, and the notion of putting metal screws into a piece of protective equipment that sits on our head in easily one of the most aggressive games in the world sounds a bit crazy. Kav have been able to create this custom helmet that has absolutely no screws. It doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but it helps in the general maintenance of the helmet because you don't have to worry about anything rusting, because metal on your head, when you're playing a game that you know that your equipment is going to get wet, adding metal to a component like a helmet doesn't seem like it makes sense, but when we look back at how things were previously constructed, that was the only way to do it until now. Looking at their helmet, not seeing any screws, any bolts, any clips, any hinges made from metal is phenomenal. It means that the helmet is going to last longer, it's going to be easier to maintain, and of course, because of the way that the helmet's been constructed, if you do want to wash it or rinse it out, it's not a problem because it has no metal components on it. I'm not saying it's something that you might want to do, but it's definitely useful to know that this helmet is not going to rust like some of the other ones that we're typically used to seeing. Every element and component on the helmet has been constructed from the ground up, without the presence of your traditional metal clips, hinges and screws. The way that you attach the cage, lift it up or clip it down when you're getting ready to play is all built and incorporated into the helmet itself. Even Kav Sports chin strap isn't your traditional hockey chin strap. It's not the type of chin strap that you struggle to do with your gloves, or if you're a young child having to have an adult help you clip your helmet into place. It's magnetic. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but being able to remove your helmet's clip and reattach it with your hockey gloves on does make a big difference, and it's especially going to be a lot easier for younger players to be able to adapt to. And all we're left with at the end as the consumer or the player is a bunch of features that have been incorporated into a product that seem completely flawless and effortless, when in theory were actually massive design challenges that have been incorporated into a helmet, but they just work. And that's exactly what you want with your protective equipment. You don't want to have to overthink how anything works. You don't want to have to be irritated with clips that don't undo or fasten properly, or parts of a helmet that start to rust. You just want it to work, and that's exactly what this helmet does. Now, of course, this brings us onto the giveaway. Now, all you need to do is visit Kav Sports Instagram, which of course is going to be linked down below, and it's going to be the first of 2 weekly giveaways. So if you want to find out more about this, make sure you click on the link down below in the video description to Kav Sports Instagram page, where you'll have all of the information about the giveaway that they're going to be holding. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thumbs up the video if you enjoyed this type of content, and we've got a bunch of new videos coming, including a blind test with sticks that I know you guys are going to be excited to watch. But make sure you thumbs up, subscribe. The link is down below in the video description to the giveaway that Kav Sports and of course us at Hockey Tutorial are doing together. Make sure you check that out. But big thank you. More information on the helmets, of course, is also down below to their website, so you can see how much they cost, where you can order one from. Exciting times to be able to pick up a custom helmet for hockey. Take care, guys. Keep watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.